Hey there! In this video, Tchomp and myself are going to be going through the BBN5 patch notes. Just figured I'd do a little intro because we just kind of jump right into it, so if you want to look at the patch notes yourself, I will have them in the description, as well as some timestamps if you're looking for our thoughts on a specific topic here.
So BBN5. Alright, so it aims to bring a fresh quote-unquote PvP experience to English versions of both Protoman and Kernel. So they aim to rebalance their abilities and the buster scaling feature in the units. They introduced some mechanics from 6, introduced battleships from 6, altered the Navicus programs, and this is currently quote-unquote beta build number 3, so they're still planning on changing it.
So anything that we talk about in this video is subject to change, and we'll probably come back to talk about those changes later on.
Alright, so there hasn't really been functionality tests for PvE, and there's been no testing for mod cards, so that's definitely something that would be fun to check out later.
Yeah, especially if that's on like their list of things to do. 5 mod cards was pretty fun, even if we have only done a couple of them.
It says BBN5 supports BBN5 link navis, but it doesn't also say how you're supposed to set it up in this version.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything. It also says that they haven't been changed, so you're going to be dealing with like 400 HP Protoman or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have the MB restriction rules from BN6, so now you can only have 4 area grabs instead of 5. Or actually, I think you could only have 4. I think it was BN6 that introduced the concept where you could like have like 5 battleships, right?
Mm-hmm. 5 of battleships under, hell, I think it's under 15 megabytes. I'm probably wrong on that though.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
Alright. The wind ships have the barrier delete property. I think it's a little bit more balanced than 4.5. Instead of like instantly terminating barriers, now there's a little bit of a wind quote-unquote effect that actually like happens, so if you're behind objects, it's not gonna like perma-delete it. Like there's actually like a little bit of a delay to the wind. So that's something to look forward to. Like it's a little bit more smooth. Curse.
Yeah, you're not gonna hit wind rack and then your life ore is just gone. It's like, okay, we're gonna hit wind rack and it gives me like you see that out and you have the opportunity to counter with another play if you don't have super armor. Like that happened to me yesterday.
Okay. Cursor element chips now pierce and remove traps, making Dark Circle one of the strongest chips in the game. Ay. Wood chips don't cause flashing unless dimming or Cactus Ball's final hit. I don't know if that means that Tomahawk Man causes flashing in this game or not, though, because in 6 it doesn't cause flashing, so...
I mean, it says unless it's dimming, so I would assume dimming wood chips still cause flashing.
Yeah, I guess that's insinuating.
So.
C-panels vanish if an elect element hitbox would hit an object or opponent directly on top of them. I've also noticed that if you use it with Magnet Soul, like the charge shot, that it'll actually delete the C-panel it's on. But that might also just be a timeout thing. C-panels no longer stop grab banish push immediately. That's interesting. You would think it would stop it entirely, because, like, it locks you in place.
Yeah. I guess it's just kind of a way of keeping, like, Toad Soul from camping front row or whatever.
Chips have read differently. You can now run more than one of the same mega chip. Definitely not for a certain mega chip they changed later. It looks like they reduced full synchro to match anger. So I don't know if that means that you have a higher chance of getting full synchro in anger, or if it seems like it has you have a lower chance of getting either of them now.
I would assume they'd put it at the same as it is in 6. In Battle Network 6, you have a 1 in 16 chance to get it. So
yeah, it says right here 1 in 16 for full synchro and anger.
Oh, there you
I
go.
don't know why they didn't have that right under it, but it's a couple bullet points down.
Yeah.
Soul time bug causes HP drain instead of a motion bug. Okay.
All right. Oh, that the Navicuss program that gives you 1 extra soul turn.
Yeah. Dark chip forced to draw from anxious emotion still present for evil emotion. Was there a mechanic that made you draw dark chips when you were anxious?
I know that was around in 4, but
Yeah, that's how dark chips worked in 4. I didn't know if that was a thing in 5.
yeah, I wasn't aware of that in 5
Let's
either.
look up emotions being 5.
Then again, I didn't really use dark chips when I played Battle Network 5.
Let's see. In Battle Network 4, dark chips also become available for Mega Man to use. In Battle Network 5, if the player's folder has any dark chips, they are guaranteed to appear in the next cust screen. So you can guarantee it. That's really interesting.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's definitely weird, but that's no longer in this version.
Yeah. That's just like a base Battle Network 5 thing.
Yeah. Alright. All soul unisons can chip charge buffer for ×2 on any chip. I assume they mean like the same element chip? Oh wait, is no longer possible. That's... performing a non-chaos soul unison recycles the chip that was used to unite back into the folder. Which is really nice because that means like you're not going to run out of chips as easily.
The sacrifice for a soul unison isn't as costly now.
Yeah, which is really nice.
You don't have to put like soul unison fodder into your folder, which can end up clogging things up later on.
Yeah. Chaos unison successful charge shots will not cause dark chip bugs if they're from chaos unisons, and then they'll revert back to regular unisons.
So you get 1 shot with the Chaos Unison charge shot.
Yeah.
If you miss, you lose both the Soul Unison and the Dark Chip. But the Dark Soul does not appear on your opponent's side to fight against you.
Yeah. Why isn't that there? That's funky. I guess... No, that doesn't make sense that that's not there. Yeah, you no longer get the Dark Shadow of Infinite bullshit that gives you free items.
Yeah.
But you do get to be in the normal non-Chaos Unison version of whatever Unison the Chaos was.
Right, which I think is kind of a inadvertently buffed Kernel Soul. And Chaos Kernel, because like you can use, like I think that was one of the downsides of using Dark or Chaos Kernel was
you don't really have a way to do damage.
Yeah, you're just kind of committed to that for the turn. And this, if you pull off, you put Dark Sonic down, and then you can immediately start wailing on your opponent while they're paralyzed.
You can't really say it's a buff for something like Maxwell, but like you could also think about it like you send out a BDT and then you literally have a charge shot that forces your opponent to line up in the right spot you want to be in.
Or you can just stop their movement as well. Like it's definitely a nerf for some like search, like not being able to spam that out, or Dark Proto. But other souls, I think it works out pretty well.
Going on to Kernel Soul, so they changed a lot. So the ARM changed Sword Element standard chips are only for stuff under 50 megabytes. I don't know what that would really apply to. There's not really an example here.
There are no listed examples. I'll have some examples listed on screen.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's just like higher MB stuff, like Tank Cannon 3.
So the only thing you would want to use it with?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like chips like Scully is really good with that.
Oh, and they buffed that too. We'll get to that later.
Yeah,
Yay.
there's a bunch of chips that got buffed.
So now instead of the screen divide being 10 times Buster Rank plus 40, it's now 10 times Buster Rank plus 80. So there's higher flat damage, but you really don't get a lot of damage from getting Buster rank here. It's like still 90, isn't it? Whatever. That arrow's pointing to the right? Like it was changed to 10 times Buster rank plus 90, so or 80, so it's like 90 damage. Yeah. The frame data was increased by 20%. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. What that's supposed to impact. Maybe it stays on the screen a little bit longer, so like it has a chance of like having end lag and hitting something. Yes. So the arm change won't cleanse arm change at the end of every turn, only returning. So when you fall out of Colonel Soul, you won't like keep the arm change basically.
Yeah, so
was that a thing for original Colonel Soul? You only kept it until the end of the turn?
Yeah, it was. You had that arm change for the one turn, so it was really good to use Colonel Soul with like slow gauge, so you could actually like capitalize on it. Because Colonel's the like super drawback to Colonel Soul is like it's like, oh cool, I get to use this awesome chip as my charge shot. But it takes forever to charge, so you only get like one off anyways. So maybe two if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So having this, like, you go into Colonel Soul, and the next turn you pick a chip, and you are committed to that chip for the rest of the time. I'm not sure if you can switch it out. I haven't played with Colonel Soul on this yet.
Yeah, I haven't messed around with the arm change feature too much either, so I don't know the exact ins and outs of it.
But at the very least, if you pick a chip with your first opportunity to put something in your arm change, you're committed to that for the rest. You're just kind of giving up on screen divide, which I mean is kind of whatever. It's fine. Screen divide is fine,
yeah.
But like whatever.
Yeah. They've removed the arm change option when the turn count is 0, so you can't accidentally delete a battle chip for free.
Whoops. Yeah. It doesn't state if that puts that chip back into your hand, like the Soul Unison. So does that just get rid of the chip?
Yeah, it would delete the chip.
Okay.
It looks like Colonel Soul now has a back B, so it'll spawn the soldiers out of obstacles.
Okay.
Apparently it'll just spawn them anywhere, no matter what the distance is, or from wherever. So now you just have free junk soul on Colonel.
Yeah, you don't have to have your opponent standing in a specific spot. You can just back B, and if there's rock cubes or whatever on the field, you can have a quick Colonel army.
I don't know why it says this again, but Colonel Soul still can't arm change chips 50 megabytes or higher. We didn't get that underway like at the first bullet point. This needs to be stated again that this cannot happen. Did you know that arm changing your reg chip will now will properly cleanse the reg chip frame? I guess because it didn't get rid of it before? I don't. No real change here, just a bug fix, I guess. This one you've been super happy to abuse.
I haven't necessarily abused it. Hoodie's told me about the bug with it.
It has been messy as hell. Every time I look at this thing, it is like Gregor.
It's very good. So Napalm Soul Buster changed from the non-flashing continuous version of the charge shot in vanilla to Fire Vulcan, which is pretty much just Gregor's Gregor Beast's Buster, where you just hold the button down and you shoot. The Buster
also on fire.
Yeah. Buster is it deals 1 times Buster rank plus 5.
So for those that don't understand, you could do 10 damage per second with this, which Gregor can't even do for some reason, and we have less HP than that game.
Yeah. Reduce the in lag for the firing volley. Holding down the Napalm Buster matches Gregor Buster's end lag, and still Napalm Soul's fire rate. Stepping on a lava panel will restore 20 HP, and chip boosts are capped at plus 30. So you're not going to get that plus 200 something by getting a bunch of lava panels.
I'm confused. What does it mean by stepping on a lava panel restores 20 HP? Is that just like a flat 20 HP every time you step on a lava panel?
I'd assume so. I don't think I've stepped on any lava panels while I've been in Napalm Soul and BBN5, so...
something we'd have to experiment with it. Like, does it consume the lava panel? Like,
well, I think yes, it consumes it because you still have the chip boost. So like on top of the plus 10 to whatever chip you have next, you also get 20 HP. That's how I'm reading that, at least.
I will say that's a nice nerf. Like, capping the chip boosting is really nice because it seems like souls are going to be a lot more relevant in this. So, and there's not really a lot of great water chips to deal with Napalm Soul. I know someone's gonna.
Yeah, I mean they got like
that,
Wide Shot
whatever.
and yeah,
Dark Wide.
I'm blanking on the crab one. Aqua Whirl or whatever. I think.
Oh, Aqua Whirl is like a great zoning chip, but like it's in some other codes. It's in L code, but you don't really have uninstall in this game, so it's like, what do you pair it with?
Napalm Bomb's velocity has been increased by 30%, so I'm guessing you use Napalm Bomb and you're not wide open for another attack.
Bomb! Faster! Even faster bombing!
Carpet bombing.
Bomb faster. Faster bomb. Carpet bomb faster. How do you even use Napalm Soul? It's just you chip charge a fire chip, right?
Yeah. And then I would assume this is on the list of things to fix, so I wouldn't count on this continuing to be in the game. But Hoodie's told me about a bug. If you hold forward while shooting your buster,
you shoot faster.
The buster will just go absolutely insane.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Tomahawk Soul doesn't require standing on grass panels anymore to chip charge. I didn't know that. I thought it really did just chip charge all the time. But I guess because Tomahawk Soul spawns grass stage every time, then it's not really something you would notice otherwise, I guess?
Yeah. I always thought it was a consuming thing, and then that Tomahawk Cross got the chip charge.
I did see that when it releases the chip charge, you consume a grass panel. But it looks like it gives you a flat health restore as well, which is really nice. Tomahawk Soul Charge Shot also doesn't cause flashing, so that's more in line with BN6. So it makes me wonder why Tomahawk SP would cause flashing while the Tomahawk Charge Shot doesn't.
I mean, that's just like a charge shot chip difference. Like, they're two different attacks. Similar, but different.
Yeah, but look at the charge shot. It's 15 times Buster rank, so it's already doing a lot more than a lot of the other ones we've seen so far. I guess it also takes forever to charge, so maybe it is a little bit different. The flat damage isn't as high, so that's neat.
I need to play with Kernel. Make some Kernel builds, because all my builds in BBN5 right now are for Team Proto Man.
Yeah, I need to mess with the arm change stuff more too, but going on to Proto Soul, we were messing with this earlier, technically yesterday. Interestingly enough, they changed the wide sword to a lock-on wide sword. It can actually jump behind, which is very interesting, because usually with these jump we see that like you can't do it in the same column. You can actually jump to someone in the same column if you're like in an awkward area grab situation, and the panel in front of you.
Okay.
So not only does Proto Soul hit a lot harder at 110, but it also like can actually jump at you now, and it also chip charges faster for some reason.
All right. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, it's just better. Like there's no nerfs. Just have fun with it.
I mean, to be fair, Proto Soul is, while like really cool and also very strong, it's not the most threatening soul in the game. All you need is one grab revenge or grab banish, and you're fine. You can just stand back while they flail at you from your front row. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe I just won't stand right there.
This is interesting. Number soul boost plus element chips by +10 in addition to null element chips to reflect previously null element chips being granted plus. Oh wait, it's just saying it gives a +10 boost to null element chips. I thought it was something else for a second.
Like you got an additional boost.
Plus chips, like a boost.
So instead of +10, you got +20 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's not what it says.
That would be cool, but...
Why did they word this so confusingly? Just say +10 to null element chips. There you go. That's it. That should be the whole sentence.
Well, because they changed a couple of chips to also be plus element. Like I saw, the only example I'm coming to mind with was Numberman. Numberball got it as well.
I think... oh, that's weird. That's kind of lame, actually. That kind of just nerfs the whole thing.
Does it?
Yeah. Numberman is, like, super gimmicky already. At least you can move after you toss the dice bomb instead of being an end lag for, like, 10 billion years.
Yeah.
According to this, I feel like the last time I tried it, like, yesterday, like, there was still, like, a decent amount of end lag. But I think that's the amount of end lag you get with, like, throwables. Like, it's not even, like...
Yeah, there's a weird throwing thing in 4 and 5. Where you throw and you just gotta, like, sit and watch your bomb fall.
Yeah.
Shadow Soul charge shot now pierces invis. Its damage was adjusted to 10 times Buster rank plus 50. It's now katana. In the original game, it is just longsword, but in this it's katana, so it's longsword and then wide sword.
Exactly.
Shadow Soul will attempt to jump to the panel in front of the enemy to use the attack. Shadow Soul will attempt to jump to the panel in front of the enemy to use the chip charge if the panel is behind the target. If the panel behind the target is invalid, occupied, or behind the back column. So Shadows, you can't just like hang out in the back row if your opponent's in Shadow Soul and be safe from their chip charged Katana 3 or Z Saber. And then Shadow Soul now has a passive plus 50 to sword chips, both when chip charging and simply using the chips. So that's pretty neat.
It doesn't say non-dimming sword chips, but so I'm wondering if anti-sword gets the bonus. Wait, is anti-sword even in this game?
Yeah, it is. I'm fairly certain.
Let's see. I mean, some of the chips like of note is like Moonblade 3, Katana 3, Cuss Sword, Variable Swords, obviously. Slasher is a little weird. Because that only cuts if the opponent is in your area, right?
I think so. I'm still uncertain on how Slasher works, honestly.
Yeah, it's super weird. Yeah, anti-sword's a sword chip, so you could give that plus 50.
Huh.
That's super funky. I wonder if it gives the Navi chips plus 50 as well, so like part of NSP.
Yeah, it doesn't state if it's dimming or non-dimming. It just says sword chip. Fuck. It just says sword chips, so... Maybe it is all
plus 50 chips. Delta Ray, hey.
Hey, I'm down.
I mean, honestly, it would make it a lot more convenient, because, like, then you could actually mess around with the sword folder. Well, I know you tried that in base BN5, and that didn't really work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's, like, the play, like, to do it with Shadow Soul. I assume you want to do this next one.
Yeah, I'll do the next one. Medisoul. Pink capsules. The pink capsule exploit with Dark Circle to heal thousands of HP is no longer possible. So that's nice.
I don't remember that one. Just know there was a bug. You healed a lot. It's no longer in there.
Medisoul's Charge Shot Capsule Bomb now deals 10 times Buster rank plus 30, and has been buffed to 10 times Buster rank plus 80. Oh, I see. It was 10 times Buster rank plus 30. Is now plus 80. So,
yeah, the box rank has increased since then.
Yeah. So, Cap Bomb isn't isn't the worst anymore.
Useless.
Yeah.
Ay.
Just get a couple area grabs and just it's like Napalm Soul, but from the sky.
Yeah. Gyro Soul now hits 3 times on all panels it hits. For those that don't really have a comparison for how it was in the original game, it kind of works like the Falzar Giga Chip. In the original, where it hits 3 times at the end, 1 in the first panel in front, and 2 times in the panel in the middle.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a 1, 2, 3 situation based on the range from the opponent up to 3 panels away.
That's it for Gyro Soul. They didn't. There wasn't much to do with Gyro Soul. I think Gyro Soul is probably one of the best.
Gyro Soul is already really strong. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's probably too much. They probably could have left Gyro Soul alone, and I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, Gyro Soul was already perfect as was. So this is fine.
Yeah. Night Soul now has super armor for no reason.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense, kind of.
And then Royal Wrecking Ball got a buff as well.
Yeah, now it scales like way better than like any other charge shot in the game. So 20 times Buster Rank plus 60.
Yeah, that hits like a truck. Holy crap.
Yeah, that'll go all the way up to 160 damage, which honestly still isn't that great, but if you're like area locked, like it's still gonna do a decent chunk. It's not like 4.5 where you can get area locked by Nightman and he can just cleave through Life Aura or anything.
Yeah. The Black Weapon upgrade Black Weapon Nightman is just ridiculous.
I think you can actually get to Buster 10 in this, can't you?
Perhaps. I don't know what Buster Up is, or what its NB is, so you might be able to run 10 of those.
Okay. Now on to standard chips. This is one of the bigger changes. All of the non-Navi Mega Chips are now standard chips, which honestly I think is okay with some chips, and like not okay
Give
with
me
like,
some
other
examples.
chips,
What do you mean?
but I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, a lot of the Navi chips just don't feel as important in this.
I feel like this makes Navi chips more important. Like, you have a dedicated spot now. It's like, okay, well, because Navi chips have always been like higher damage. They're your damage dealers.
Yeah.
And you can have you no longer have to sacrifice spaces for like Life Aura or Sanctuary or anything like that. You can now just be like, okay, well, I can have these, and I can also have Proto Man SP, and I don't know, Medi SP, Magnet Man SP, like these high damaging chips, as well as you can have. I think it opens up the door for better folder building.
Yeah, I remember like I was messing with some of the folder building, and like I ended up like not putting like any mega chips in like the except for like 1 or 2 or 3. It was kind of funky, but I think BN5 still has the kind of deal where like you kind of rely on the Navi chips for like huge amounts of burst damage.
Grab Banish and Grab Revenge now pierce Invis. In base Battle Network 5, that was not a thing. I'm very happy with this. Tchomp might not be, but I'm perfectly fine with that. Windrack.
Bring it back. Bring back the non-invis piercing.
Does it? I thought it's the same as.
It does 6, so much damage in this game.
Well, get off of my lawn.
It's like 40 damage. And like the HP bar is so much smaller in this game.
Windrack deletes your opponent's barrier.
It works like BN6. That's all we could really say about it. It just works like BN6. If you've seen Windrack before, it works like BN6 now.
No more need for Northwind.
Speaking of Northwind.
Looks like Northwind was removed in place of Heat Spread. which it works just like Spreader, but it's fire element.
Oh my god, there's another chip like that in this game? Why?
Oh, and it explodes on the back row like tank cannon.
It also doesn't cause flashing, which is really odd for a fire chip.
That is interesting. I wonder why they did that. Well, I guess if it's kind of like Spreader. Spreader's not it doesn't deal flashing.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. That is weird for a fire chip not to have.
Yeah. This jealousy patch is a lie. Because it does not destroy any chips, but it'll damage for each chip.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
It lied to me.
I'm okay with this. Vulcan. Let's see. Vulcan 2 does 15 damage for 4 shots. Vulcan 3 does 20 damage for 5 shots. And Super Vulcan now does 20 damage per 10 shots.
It's kind of underwhelming that it only does like 200 damage.
Yeah, especially with, well, I suppose super armor is not as prevalent in this format.
It's more prevalent because you have more like wide AoE chips that just like cancel you out of anything, and I've been like 3-framed by like those like really fast chip changes like multiple times in our matches, so it's kind of like I feel like people are going to run super armor now more than ever because they don't want to like get their chips canceled.
Yes. Well, I see where you're coming from there. There's also a much bigger sacrifice on the Navicus side.
Yeah.
Since you have much smaller area for your Navicus.
That's true.
Katana family reserved the order of slashes to match Shadow Souls is longsword first and then wide sword. It pierces invis. That's interesting.
Really weird. Why does it pierce invis?
And the second hit does not cause flashing. So you got free longsword, wide sword, and then some megabyte changes. Looks like it was lowered for all 3 chips.
Oh wait, I just realized what that means. It means Katana doesn't cause flashing at all.
Yeah, it's you get free if you have a bunch of those in your hand. You can just spam them out.
That's crazy. Is there a white capsule in this game? I don't think there is, right? No, there is.
Medisol.
Oh, that's right. If held for 3 seconds and no target is found, Slasher will send a sonic boom slash down the entire field that deals half of Slasher's damage. That's really good. Slasher's like, what, 240?
I think it's 220. So just a 110 sonic boom. It's not bad at all. I don't know if they buffed it. It doesn't say if they buffed it here. Should probably load up BBN5 just to...
I am reading. It is 240.
Okay.
So that means like if you're running Shadow Soul, then that's just a 290 power chip.
Just a 290 sonic boom.
Yeah.
That you can express deliver.
Well, it's like a what, like a 145 power sonic boom.
Mm-hmm.
Justice 1 functions like BN6. I don't think it ever changed, but I guess we don't really have to think about that because it just functions like BN6 now. Giant fist, hit the center panel.
Yeah, I wish they elaborated on that a bit more. Because both ships are very, very similar.
Yeah. Quake is now faster now. Quake faster.
Okay.
Carpet, bomb, panel, faster. Faster, carpet, bomb. All of the MBs were reduced. Except for Quake 1 for some reason. Okay. They cause confusion. Quake 1 will now hit in the column that it lands. Within like a +1 up or down. Quake 2
that also causes a small explosion.
Yes. And Quake 2 will do the same thing, but it'll also hit 1 panel to the right.
So, for reference, from Battle Network 5, like the original, Quake 1 now functions how Quake 2 used to, and then Quake 2 just gets an extra explosion to the right.
For reference, Quake 3 always hit like +1 on like all sides, so up, down, left, and right.
Yeah, it still does that. Gundel Soul families. After pushing A to use the chip, this locks the user into it and requires another A-B press, or being flinched to cancel the attack. Otherwise, it automatically holds for the full duration. So similar to how Gundel Soul works in 6.
Is it?
In 6, you push
I thought
the button.
you could like cancel it with like anything in 6, like kind of just
Really?
like any other chip. Yeah, I always thought you could like just move out of it, for example, if you just.
No, that's. I thought that was 5, where you could if you have to hold it down in 5.
I don't remember.
Maybe I'm getting the two confused. I don't know.
Maybe I am too.
And then also Gundel Soul chips won't cause damage to guard and shields anymore. I think that's kind of lame.
Disagree with this intensely. The Gundel Soul is like an extremely niche chip, except for the EX version, and I think it's like already like really hard to fit in here. It's not like Turtle Force is in this game, so it's not like you can like pair Gundel Soul with like this wide AoE stunning chip.
Right.
So like having like that limitation that like on top of that, then your opponent can just shield most of the damage. I mean, I guess like there's also like the other side of that, which is they're going to take some Gundel Soul damage if they have the shield up, because like it's not that short, but
right.
I don't know.
It'll block a little bit of it, but I think that was kind of some of the appeal of Gundel Soul, is that you're able to go through all defenses.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to trigger anti-damage, so you're safe with that. It can go through shields, and it goes through barriers as well.
I'm relatively sure they did the same thing with the Django chip in 5, which is a shame because it's such a cool chip. It's really iconic.
Oh, we'll get to Django. I skimmed through this the other day, and because I wanted to know what they did to my boy, and we'll get to that.
I like that he's your boy now, and like we still haven't finished book time.
Yeah.
Ay. Crack Bomb is now a 3x3. I don't know if. Oh no, wait, it's called Cloak Bomb now? Oh, that's so confusing.
Oh yeah, Cloak Bomb, and it can pierce Invis.
This is dumb. Like, I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be Flash Bomb, but I don't know.
Yeah, and it's also stealth element, given more stealth chips. It's not just Invis and anti-damage anymore.
Yeah. Parabomb can now be rigged.
Hey, look at that.
Reset Bomb cannot be rigged.
Yeah, Reset Bomb does not uninstall through anti-damage, and it no longer uninstalls Undershirt, specifically Undershirt. It doesn't get rid of.
I have no idea why they didn't give an explanation here. For those that don't understand, uninstall doesn't really exist in BN5. Instead, you used Reset Bomb, which is a chip whose entire purpose is a throwable that uninstalls. It's uninstall. That's it.
Yeah, it's uninstall. It functions the same. It gets rid of air shoes, float shoes.
It is throwable uninstall. That is it.
Yeah. Back these super armors. Yeah, it functions the same. 6 is the only game that has uninstall in it. And as far as I'm aware, this is the only game that and chip that introduced that function.
I'm not exactly sure, but
no?
I don't really. Yeah, because there's like always like shenanigans with like 1 and 2 and like other games, right? So like it's just Pulsar now paralyzes every time it hits. Like that's it. It stuns now. It's also cheaper. You can now use more of it, I guess.
Which is pretty good. Pulsar's a damn good chip.
Oh yeah, it's super broken, and it can also. I'll say that for later.
Okay.
I will save that for later.
Miramasa's chip art has been adjusted to Battle Network 1 and 2. So it shows Shadow Man. And it is no longer an evil chip, which is interesting. I didn't know that they changed that. I wonder why they did. I think Miramasa fit kind of well into dark builds.
It is kind of weird, actually.
Then again, I guess it works pretty well for Light Soul builds who have to deal with 2 fucking health bars, so...
It also used to be a mega chip as well, so it's like a double restriction release. It's like, it's no longer an evil chip and it's no longer a mega chip. I think similar... I'll save it for when we get to it, but another chip that they changed. Capping the damage is kind of lame. I feel like they've increased the damage on, like, everything else, but... I don't know. Shadow Soul is a lot better, and so is Proto Soul, so I think, like, running Muramasa really isn't that unrealistic.
Yeah, I don't know. Keeping the damage at 500, just capping it out, makes it so you can't just take a bunch of damage and then immediately turn around and nuke your opponent.
Yeah, but I feel like that's what a lot of these, like, really fast, like, high-power chips already do, right?
I suppose, but not to the extent like the comeback mechanic Muramasa is. Like, that's like your final Hail Mary, and I think it would cause a bunch of upsets if you got some guy up against the wall and then suddenly you're at like 110 health.
I mean, he can't put you at 110 health if he's dead.
Fair enough. So make sure your opponent is dead before they can use it Muramasa. Z-Saber's chip art was changed to the network transmission. So that's
nothing else was changed. That's it.
That's it.
I guess to add a bit of a note, you can increase the damage on this with Shadow Soul.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can just like beast jump Z-Saber plus 50 damage. And it is now a standard chip in this game instead of being a mega chip.
Yeah.
So
very worth.
Yeah.
Very worth it. Especially since I'm pretty sure Muramasa 3 comes in Z-code too, so that would fit in pretty nicely.
Mark Cannon no longer causes flashing.
That's good.
Yes. Actually, that's like really crazy considering that it's a cursor chip, so it's already going through anti-damage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did they add that function?
Yeah, like the cursor chip deal like gets rid of traps.
Okay.
It also does 170 damage. I mean, I guess you're not really increasing it with like an erase cross, so it's not like gonna do 200 damage, but that's still a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
It's kind of insane, actually.
Especially for an attack that paralyzes your opponent, locks on and then paralyzes them.
Yeah.
And then now doesn't send them into flashing. You can lock them on, paralyze them, and then follow up immediately with another attack.
I'm very curious if the paralyze will remove the trap, or if it has to be the shot that removes the trap. I can't help but think, like, there was probably a bug with that at some point.
I would assume it's probably the shot itself. Taking the damage is what removes the trap.
Right.
Element Rage is fixed element rage, sometimes dealing an inconsistent amount of damage. It always hits 2 times now. Adjusted the default range of element rage when not standing on an elemental panel to hit the entire row in front of Mega Man, similar to Fireman's firearm attack.
I'll be honest, I've never used this chip.
I've never used it either.
I think it like doubles in damage for like each elemental panel it consumes.
I see.
But it has to like consume different ones. I really don't follow the logic a lot, but basically if you use this on a null panel, you can line it up with a bunch of other like element type panels and it'll be like a really, really strong attack, I guess.
But now it only hits 2 times.
Which is fine. Like,
yeah.
They're kind of like trying to reduce down these kind of like burst chips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Asteroid now works like 4.5 patch? Dear God, no.
Didn't they nerf it though? So it hits...
They nerfed it at 4.5. I don't know if this is like pre-nerf like 4.5 or...
I'm sure it's the same. Where it will target where your opponent is, and then it will target next to them, and then it will target where your opponent is, and then it will target next to them.
I have to assume Grega changed it so you can't just like line up both asteroids one after another so your opponent doesn't have anywhere to go.
Right. That if it's matching that, you probably can't spam them out either. Oh, they added the breath chips from Battle Network 4 into 5.
Like wood powder, elect breath, ice breath, etc. Or sorry,
Yeah. Blizzard and fire breath. Or heat breath or something like that.
Something like that.
They have replaced the anti-element series chips. And the anti-elements have been condensed into element trap.
Boo! Now I can't use my random trap mod card. Boo! Oh wait, that was 4. Never mind.
That was in 4. Yeah.
That was 4.
Oh.
Air hockey goes over holes.
Air hockey goes over holes. How about that?
I guess
Interesting.
some crackhead was just like, it's called air hockey. Of course it has air shoes. Where are you, stupid? Like,
yeah.
It's literally called air hockey. Why would it not be in the air? Like,
right.
and it increased the damage too. I think I've hit you with the PA, and it's like really stupid damage.
Yeah.
Ay. And you could run like 4 of them too, which is nice.
Cactus ball.
Oh, this cactus ball.
Using cactus balls.
Description is wrong because they removed that, right? That second dot.
I don't know if they removed it or if it was a bug. I remember Zay was talking to me about that. Using cactus ball will cancel any active cactus ball that's on the field.
Hey, cactus ball is its own object type, confirmed.
Cactus ball that falls into a hole or perma-hole will proceed to drop down 1 cactus ball targeting the opponent's current panel. That rolls forward for 4 hits.
It says should proceed to drop down 1 cactus ball. It's not guaranteed, but it should. It should drop down a cactus
theory.
ball. Theoretically, you might be able to drop a cactus ball. Sorry, I'll let you talk.
Yeah. If cactus ball falls into a hole, and it would fall from above. Wait, if fucking what? Hold on. If cactus ball is used and then falls into a hole, and it would fall from above, then into a hole again, if the opponent simply it disappears and repeating the looping attempt. Okay, so if you have like air shoes or whatever, and the cactus ball falls into a hole. It's gonna try to fall onto you again, but if it just falls into a hole, it's just gonna go. It's just gone.
It simply disappears. It doesn't complexly disappear. It simply disappears.
Its damage has been increased by 10 for each chip. And the cactus ball deals flashing damage on its final hit. And then static got moved to star code.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm trying to agree with this one because static has always been like kind of a really strong chip. But with all of the changes they made to the Navigate cust, it's kind of a little more optimal to run like a less buggy cust. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. I feel like static is a lot less room.
Well, is it no longer like a dark specific attack, or is it still dark?
That's a good. No, it's still a dark. I remember testing for it. Yeah, it's still a dark chip. So, like, you have to be evil in order to use it, if I remember correctly. So, that's at least something that, like, makes it a little bit easier. But there are some changes that I'll mention later as to why, like, this doesn't really work as well in this version as it does in the original. At least it still paralyzes the opponent when it hits. That's a factor. Also, heck this next chip. I hate this chip.
Hot body, I've been loving this.
I hate this chip so much. It's so dumb.
Hot body has been changed to burning. Burning 1 through 3. It creates a plus shape in front of you that deals fire damage. And this, let's see, you can go over holes. It covers a lot of ground in front of you. It can go over holes. It's just all around a really good chip.
It's just instacast for Raga get burnt.
Like Hot Body, I think was kind of a niche chip before. I used it quite a bit, because it can be used kind of as a, like, I'd throw like 1 or 2 in there because it can be used as a deterrent for like Proto Soul or Tomahawk Soul. But throwing this in there and then finding out, oh, it's plush shape that can cover half the battlefield. It's just good. There's no reason. It comes in a bunch of codes that I use. Like,
just good.
It's been in almost every single folder I've made so far.
Your opponent wants to switch to Tomahawk, just set them on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's one that I was curious about. Wood Nose got a complete rework. It now spawns a Woo Note virus in a bush to perform the Wood Nose Lance in a longsword range. 2 additional...
That is the dumbest way to phrase that I've ever seen. Just say it spawns the virus to do the virus attack.
2 additional bushes spawn, and a third is left when a Woo Note leaves. What?
I guess it's supposed to leave an object on your opponent's board? I guess.
Or
I haven't
just
seen that. I don't remember that.
Just the bushes.
Yeah.
Spawns closest column in front of your opponent. The bushes last for 240 frames. Using a Wood Nose again will destroy the old bushes. Bushes will spawn on panels occupied by obstacles. But this only deals 1 damage and leaves the object intact if it survives with this damage. So, I mean, Wood Nose already wasn't the best. It was fairly good with Tomahawk Soul. You could charge that and then just send it into the back row and pray that they're just not paying attention. But now this... You can destroy the little bushes with like a single buster shot, and it's nothing. And it's also really easy to dodge because it still just does the virus attack, which, if any of you haven't played Battle Network 5, the Woo Note virus attack is very, very easy to dodge. It's very, very like clearly shown, hey, don't stand right here, you're gonna get hurt. And it just does that.
Yeah.
So this is put this on the list of things that I feel got nerfed into the ground unnecessarily.
I feel like it's a neat concept if it like left the bushes there, but like I also feel like it's kind of like too much. Like, why does it do so much zoning? Like, obviously it doesn't really do a lot of damage.
Like, if you made it so
know.
the bushes were a bit stronger, and
I don't know, because, like, I can't really justify, like, just spawning 3 objects in front of my opponent's board and being like, hey, have fun with that. Also, one of these is going to poke you in the face.
Right. I get that, too. But as it is right now, there's no point to it.
Yeah.
Because you can destroy the bushes before it attacks you, even if you're standing directly in front of it.
Yeah.
And the other... It just kind of wastes time.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's just an aspect of the attack that I'm just not seeing yet, and I should play around with it more.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think a little underwhelming. Side bubble.
Now it causes immobility, kind of like Mag Soulback B.
Okay.
After it hits. So now your opponent doesn't really have as much room to, like, move around and recover after they get hit, even though they're still flashing.
Okay. And they also move faster.
And you can club them with an anchor faster, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, watch out. Anchor. Bomb Boy.
It has an HP.
Apparently. Object HP set to 500. Have fun.
For those that don't understand how this works, basically this chip is a tug-of-war between you and your opponent. After a little bit of time, it'll go off and explode in a circle, like a 8x8 around the chip. And, like, it'll basically hit everyone, including you, like whoever's just in the area. So,
yeah, it's just a Buster War. and whoever has the higher speed stat wins pretty much.
It's also an object chip, so it's not like you can use it with kernel, so I'm not sure why they reduced the MB on it. Maybe so you can run 2 of it, I guess?
Perhaps?
Sure.
The damage got buffed as well.
Probably because no one used it.
Yeah. With Bomboy 2 dealing 200 damage.
That's nice, they can clear life aura.
Yeah.
Bug fix resets your mood.
Big man from getting stuck in the anxious. Interesting.
It's really neat. I wonder how that works if you, like, use bug fix, and then someone would, like, put you into the anger state. So, like, say you, like, use... I guess it would just, like, be a process of events, and maybe it wouldn't be that complicated, but it's very interesting that it would reset your mood. There's not a lot of chips that really mess with your mood.
I don't think there are any now that I'm really thinking about it.
I mean, there's the full synchro chip into Max Edition.
Yeah, but does that really
Not
count?
in series games.
Mine. Hidden attack value is still 300. What is hidden attack value?
So, like, when you look at the chip, basically it doesn't have a damage value on it, so there's, like, no way to
Oh,
use it.
okay, I see.
Yeah.
So it's just a set damage. Okay. Black Bomb. Damage set to 120. I guess that means you can't boost that one either. With, like, Napalm Soul?
220, and let me check, because I'm pretty sure they nerfed the damage on that. 210. Oh, no, they increased the damage by 10.
Huh. Alright.
Number Ball now has the plus element icon, so Number Soul doesn't give it a plus 10. I don't like that. I think that was unnecessary.
Well, didn't say Number Soul also gives...
Number Soul set up...
Number Soul boost plus chips. Plus element chips by plus 10 in addition. Yeah, so it also grants the it gives the Number Soul gives you the boost for bonus
so
element and null element.
Poltergeist now is an obstacle element. Oh, I guess this is also so it doesn't get plus 10. I don't really... Is that really that useful?
I mean, maybe. I suppose we'll get to it later, but the other object chip in this game that takes objects off the screen was also kind of changed. So,
right.
Maybe just kind of make that one a bit more enticing to play with. I don't know, I think Poltergeist is kind of underwhelming and very, very niche anyways.
Yeah, definitely.
Rainy Day consumes every C panel in addition to your own C panels, and it's a hidden attack value.
Yeah, but what's the hidden attack value?
But please give me this information. What
not...
damage does it deal?
Yeah, how does it scale? Like, what is... How does it change?
It's hidden.
Yeah, it's hidden. You're not allowed to know, guys. Like, what are you, reading some patch notes? No.
It's hidden damage.
Okay. They made Aqua World 1 as fast as Aqua World 2, and they no longer cause flushing. And they barrier delete?
For now.
For now.
Interesting. Why would they do that?
I don't understand. Lower MB and Spear Shake Satellite now moves at this higher speed. And they don't cause flashing. Why? So many chips no longer cause flashing. What causes flashing in this game?
Cannon.
I guess. I'm surprised I haven't seen them remove the flashing quality from Canon. Moonblade does different damage. So the original family line did 90, 110, and 130, so it was buffed.
Boomer creates grass panels, just like in BN6. Its damage has been set to 100. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 60.
60 or 80, something like that.
So that's a lot stronger. Oh hey, fast gauge, slow gauge, and full cust are now a plus element, so number soul gets it plus 10 damage. They're temporary now.
Oh, hell yeah.
I actually...
They only last for 3 turns. Counting the turn as they are used on turn 1 before releasing the gauge. Interesting.
I like that a lot. I feel like gauge chips are either very oppressive or like very worn out. I feel like most times you see gauge chips, like you're kind of just forced to play along at the person's pace. Like no matter what the situation is.
That or you have like a gauge war if your opponent also has like the opposing gauge. So like I'm running slow gauge, you're running fast gauge. Whoever plays it first
Loses.
Yeah. So this kind of puts it like, and also like thinking about souls for this. If you're using Soul Plus, you're not gonna be having what 5 turns in slow gauge Kernel Soul.
Yeah.
You can there's at least a little bit of like relief for the person on the opposing end. It's like, okay, I don't have to do this the entire time. I can still pull back from this. So I agree with that change, honestly. That's a pretty decent change.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Anti-damage only triggers if 10 damage minimum is inflicted. We've found out this isn't true for Napalm Soul. It's because if you have attack max, the Buster does 10 damage. It just won't trigger. But fun fact, if you are on a grass panel or you're in Tomahawk Soul, it increases the damage even further, and then Napalm Soul will trigger anti-damage.
I was gonna propose the idea that perhaps my Buster wasn't at 10, but I was using attack max, so I definitely was dealing 10s.
Yeah.
Anti-Sword now makes Mega Man invincible, just like in BN6.
Good.
Anubis is no longer an evil chip.
Debatable, but sure.
It's, yeah, interesting. It's definitely an evil chip. Drill Arm...
Holes instead of pushes?
Holes instead of pushes.
Have we seen that? I could have sworn every time we've used Dark Drill, it pushes still.
Perhaps that's just... Well, no, it says the Drill Arm family, so... I would assume that includes Dark Drill.
It scales 40, 50, 60. If I check that real quick. Oh, I keep getting drill comp. Oh, they're actually got their damage reduced.
Huh.
It was 60, 70, 80 in the original game. Why? This is like the one game in which they're like really, really good, so why are they nerfing them here? And it's like a very limited range chip. It's not like you can like jump to the opponent and use this chip.
Right. It's not, you don't have the ground cross charge shot.
Yeah, so that's really weird. I'm
And
not sure
also on top of that, Drill Arm now has a 20 frame input lag to prevent you from chaining them together.
I guess they just really don't like Drill Arm.
Yeah, perhaps it was just really oppressive and they didn't want to... Because, I mean, Dark Drill is already really, really strong. I'm not sure about the actual, like, standard chips and how well those performed. But, whatever.
Cust Sword no longer resets to 0 attack at full cust gauge, so now you don't have to, like, be shaking your hand over the button to, like, try to, like, spam it out before your opponent presses LR. I mean, you still should, because, like, your opponent's gonna, like, prevent you from using the chip, but...
Yeah, like, why wouldn't they go into the next,
But speaking of the cust screen, Custom Vault consumes gauge? What does that mean, exactly?
It lowers the gauge. Like, the gauge will, like, you know how it proceeds through the round?
Yeah.
Cust gauge removes the gauge.
Why?
Custom gauge is already full already.
It's insane.
So, yeah, you can just kind of... It's... Imagine using that on slow gauge.
Ay, that's crazy.
Just an extra long turn.
Oh, and you could make a folder with, like, mag soul charge as well, because these are all electric chips. Kind
That would be an interesting, funny build.
They had the time and the resources to get rid of these damn crackout chips. But instead, they adjusted the MB for all 6 of them? My anti-chips had to die for these cracked chips? These are unusable! There is no reason these should still be in the game! Unless they're like a focus group to like be removed and replaced with like something else in the future, but like... There's no excuse.
Unless
I
they're
don't know.
going to be changing to
I feel
panel
like...
out or panel... What's is it panel out in 6? That like shoots out a...
You mean like
no,
panel return?
It's BN6's version of Crackout. Maybe it is Crackout, but it shoots out part of the panel. It deals like 60 damage.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Crackout, Double Crack, and Triple Crack are the ones you're thinking of. Because those deal damage.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of neutral on this. I enjoyed those chips in PvE, but in PvP I don't think that there's just better options, so...
And this is a PvP considerate patch, so it's kind of like, why would there still be like early game chips like that? It's kind of one of my problems with like early Vulcan chips and like cannon chips. It's like, why are they still in the game? Like, you can get them at Star Code. But yeah.
And pretty much just have them in code for the PA alone, and that's not even worth it, so... seed chips. All seed... all have been given the appropriate element for unison purposes.
Yep.
Ice seed... has a 10 frame delay, which is a funny vanilla quirk, it says here.
I don't know what that means.
Haha, funny ice seed. Yeah, I don't know what that they're getting at there, but then there was also megabyte changes.
Yeah. So now you can reg all of them if you need to.
Yeah, if it's super important to your build.
I guess this is like also like a focus so that you can like start with any soul you relatively need for like any build you're doing.
Well, you can't cross with regs, or use soul unison with regs.
Oh, can you not? My bad then.
Nah, because I had Windrack regged in that last match that we did.
Yeah.
And I really would have appreciated a gyro soul at that time.
So the wave chips no longer require the panel conditions to use. So for reference, in BN3, or I guess in BN3 they didn't have this condition. But basically you just send out a wave on the top panel, the panel in front of you, and the panel underneath you in the element that you're using. So wave would be water, red wave would be fire, and mud wave would be earth. In that order.
So you can just send these out no matter what?
Yeah.
Then, yeah?
They're just like low damage, like elemental waves.
Okay. Shockwave. Shockwave's the one you get from the Mets, yeah? Yeah, Dino Wave, yeah. Shockwave, okay. Oh, they've been replaced? They replaced the guard chips with these.
Kind of really weird, but eh.
Yeah.
At least they crack panels now.
They do.
Kind of.
I don't know, Dino Wave.
They've
break
never
panels as it
cracked
goes?
panels before. That is entirely new.
Huh. Curse Shield. The Curse Shield chips no longer cause flashing. Frame data has been sped up to be nigh undodgeable upon reflecting.
Ah!
Having a Diamond Nerd fly down Mega Man's road.
They've increased the damage so
Yeah,
much on
it's
this
like
chip.
Reflector 3 from 6, but it deals fuckloads of damage.
Yeah, it does way more damage.
And I think it's
Why?
null element too, so you can get like a little bit more out of Number Soul too.
Just silly.
Which, yeah, that's pretty nuts.
You can also reg it if you need to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Curse Shield 3's MB went from 52 to 29. So you can have a couple of those too.
So you can like 4 of those.
I think it's 3.
Or wait, what is it? 29? 3. Yeah, you're right.
Scully, the bone projectile now travels 4 panels at max before disappearing instead of 3. They're also a bit faster too.
Yeah, I remember that. They're definitely faster now.
And then, yeah, being able to like actually chase down your opponent, it's no longer just like a right angle, like they can actually like chase a bit.
Yeah. The MB is reduced so that you can use it with kernel self, which is kind of neat. I think it's like the only null chip they had in mind when they were looking at those changes.
Yeah, the Scully works very, very well with Kernel Soul. Just having that as your, and especially now that you can just commit to this one chip, Scully 3 works extremely well. Just charge shot. The charge shot you can still probably get like 1 or 2 out, but it's not the biggest deal since, as mentioned before, it's not going away. Time Bomb 1 through 3 and Time Bomb Plus, instead of randomly being placed on the enemy's first column, it now follows the BN6 behavior of the first open enemy panel on the current row. Then if the occupied hole or panel is on a random enemy first column, going from the top to the bottom. So it's no longer you push the button and it's just like, okay, I hope it's not gonna just show up somewhere where they can immediately get rid of it. You can like you can like deliberately place it down somewhere.
Yeah, Time Bomb's another chip that I feel like you don't really ever get a chance to use, so I'm not sure why they kept it in there. I guess nostalgia, because like if you don't have all 3 of them, then you can't put them in the PA, right? But
Magnum now functions the same as it does in BN6, and it also destroys panels like BN6.
Firebird, it works like BN6. It wasn't here before.
That chip
but it
from
is now.
BN6. It's now in BN5.
Element Trap in all its buggy glory is back.
It's
Yay.
here, and it's here to stay. And Corn Spread, haha, funny corn, is a spreader chip in this. We mentioned it with the heat spread. I think that was like one of the first chips we went over in this. It functions the same way as hitting the back row functions as tank cannon. And this chip is, I felt it was pretty good. I was talking with Zay about it, and he said that people are saying that it was kind of underwhelming, but I thought it was neat.
Yeah, I thought it was really useful, and it was really fast as well. It looks like they buffed all the other chips that weren't really that good. Fire Hit 3 is 180 for some reason.
Thunder got a small buff. Cannonball now deals 200, which, I mean, I guess that's neat.
Tank Cannon 3 can now clear a Life Aura.
And then miscellaneous chips. They also got these same chips got a megabyte change as well. They dropped the megabyte on Recovery 300, interestingly enough.
Yeah, so you can now run 2 of them.
Oh, I see.
It only comes in Y code anyways. They actually increased area grabs in these, so you can run.
Yeah, you can only have 4. Well, because there's also meta gel in this. So.
I guess. But you'd have to be running a code with area gel. Area gel.
Yeah.
Metal gel.
Well, I mean, it's just like an extra. You can have like an extra 3 area grabs pretty much with that. So.
Right.
I think that's fair. If you're gonna make it so you can only have 4 area grabs.
Why did they lower Geddon's MB? Get rid of it! I don't want to see it! No one likes Geddon! Don't bring it into the game! As soon as you make Geddon 2 a viable format,
that's just
like, that's, like, such a harrowing, like, fucking thing, and it's so annoying to deal with. Like, you already have to deal with, like, normal BN5, where the Dark Mega is, like, wandering around, like, cracking every panel in their area, which, like, makes, like, a good chunk of the chips in the game useless, except for maybe Snake, which I don't even think is... No, Snake is in this game. Okay. Yeah, it is. They lowered the MB on it to 29. I'm not sure why they didn't buff Snake, but sure, why not? In fact, they had the opportunity to bring Snake Man in here. Why didn't they just bring back the Snake Man chip?
Why would they bring Snake Man in, though?
Because it's just better Snake.
I guess.
But yeah. You can now reg Versword, which is neat.
Versword, in this, you can only have,
V-Doll.
Reg V-Doll.
Well, I don't know why on earth you would do that, but you can do it now.
There it is. If you want that darkness PA real bad, there it is.
Can you make a PA with Gypsy Reg?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
I thought it was just souls that you can't use with regs.
I'm pretty sure the PA for that is different in this game. I'm pretty sure the 2 V-Dolls thing was just a BN6 thing. Star Code has been introduced to all V1 Navi chips, something that I'm pretty sure every BN6 person will appreciate, although there's a lot less utility chips in BN5 in terms of the Navi chips. So it's not really going to be as appreciated as it would be in BN6.
Right, it's just kind of like a staple for the like PvP side of things. The BN6 changed so much, I think. Or not changed. I think a better term would be like made a standard.
Yeah.
So moving to match that would be really good.
Yeah. This is something I also wanted to talk about. So the DS Navi chips are now hard locked to the damage value they're at. So basically, for those that don't get it, the way they used to work is that they would have like a lower damage value by a good amount, and then every time Mega Man gets flinched, then it would increase the damage that a DS Navi chip deals up to a certain amount.
I think it usually caps out at whatever the SP chip does.
I'm sure it was either that or a little bit more, but yeah. The idea was
just slightly higher.
Like, it scales down Dark Mega a bit, and it forces them to use bugs. Which is kind of like why Static is like such a great chip, is because like you kind of like want to run a bugged build, you want to not run super armor. But like one of the like DS Navi chips being like hard locked like kind of takes away the incentive to not run super armor. Like, it makes you kind of have to run it almost, which is like kind of funky to me. I'm not sure I like really like that, because it like takes away like a lot of that synergy that they have going for it. You know what I mean?
I get you.
It's Like there's no payoff. Feels wacky.
Right. Let's see here. So Blizzard Man. The Blizzard Man chips now send a snowball down each row that still expand.
Yeah, when they consume a object, they get bigger and do more damage. Just like a Blizzard Ball.
We got more damage. Damage was adjusted. What is it?
What does that
Please
mean?
elaborate.
Please.
Base Battle Network 5. Blizzard Man was dealing 100 and 180 with the standard and SP chips. And the standard SP in BBN5 is 130 and 250, with the DS chip dealing 190. Medi now gets a chip heal. She heals 80 HP with the standard chip and 100 HP for both the DS and SP chip.
Yeah,
damage was dropped a bit, which I'm sad about, but you know what? Or 300 damage for the full attack and BBN5 is still acceptable. And you are still not safe from Best Girl.
Yeah, definitely need to run more anti-recovery.
She still functions the same. Aside from that extra HP, which is really good. That can end up that saved my life a couple of times. So, Proto Man now deals the same amount of damage he does in 6. So 290 at
I don't remember.
290 at the SP, and I'm trying to remember this without actually looking at it. And 140 with the standard. Let's see here. It's 150. I was 10 off.
150 on a V1 chip is insane, though.
Yeah, that's pretty good, especially getting that in star code.
And then Shadow Man now causes blind, which is really weird. So like even if your opponent like TFC's like Invis or something, then they're going to get blinded and get knocked out of it.
Shadow Man. I thought that was Shade Man. Shadow Man. Interesting. Nightman. Damage adjusted.
Damage adjusted.
Give me a second. Alright, so in Battle Network 5, Nightman standard deals 170, and the SP chip deals 320, and in BBN5, standard Nightman deals 200, and Nightman SP does 340, with the Dark Soul chip dealing 280. So this still hits like an absolute beast.
Yeah, it should do a lot.
Like, with the smaller Navi custs in Battle Network 5, this chip can take out like about a third of your opponent's like base health bar if they don't have any HP Navi cust stuff. So if you hit this off, this is quite the damaging chip.
Yeah.
Roll no longer consumes holy panels to determine the boost, and it also gets a damage adjust.
Yeah.
So you can keep roll. So roll is still boosted by holy panels. You just don't get rid of them, or
you just don't consume them, and then they like adjusted the damage for that.
Okay. So it's still boosted by holy panels. You just they're not consumed.
I think maybe. It's kind of vague.
It is a bit.
Which a patch note shouldn't be.
Yeah. don't think it's something we should go out and figure out for ourselves. But whatever. That's part of the fun for me, at least.
Number Man. The math has been updated. So, when you use full sync or anger, it only affects the base part of the formula. So it's like 40. So the base damage is 30 on the V1. And then for the SP, the base damage is 100. DS is 70. I'm pretty sure this is wrong based on the formula, because for SP, it says the damage is plus 40 times the dice, which means that the base damage would have to be 60, and then it adds 40 onto that, unless that's what they mean. I'm pretty sure they mean to say that the base damage is 60, but basically it can go as high as 400 and as low as 100, so...
Okay.
It's a little more risk-reward. I think you're more likely to land the dice bomb in freeze time, so who knows.
Yeah.
Then again, everyone's running 2 Geddon, so watch out.
Cosmo Man has been murdered.
Yeah.
Reduce the maximum amount of bonus hits to 1, even if multiple objects are removed. Why would you do that?
Now, Cosmo Man hits exactly a couple of spots on the board.
Right, so the first meteor will hit your opponent's front top panel, and then it will hit their center panel, and then it will hit their bottom back panel. So if you're standing during this, if your opponent uses this attack on you, and you are standing in your bottom top or front bottom, you'll only get hit once. And then if they are, if they used an object, if they consumed an object with this chip, that object will hit the center, and it will cause an explosion that will hit your entire area.
Well,
so,
the normal 3x3 area.
Oh, it is just the 3x3. So
yeah.
If you're area grabbed, you're laughing. So this chip got kind of destroyed.
Murked, yeah.
Yeah, along with another chip that we'll get to.
Yeah.
That has been just absolutely slaughtered. Look at what they've done to my boy. Larkman changed the command code for the air dive instead of its default range. Larkman performs the air dive in the 3 panels in front of Mega Man instead, unlike his boss fight. However, this does not break any opponent's chips, deals the same amount of damage he currently deals. Only the and then the air dive, the command code will delete barriers, which I suppose is okay. But now that's like an extra thing that you have to line up with Larkman, which is also already kind of a difficult chip to line up because it's so weird.
Yeah, it also says it changed the command code, but not what they changed the command code to?
I think it's just a change to the command code. It's still the same code. That's just like the function, what the code does has been changed.
Why don't they just say that then?
I don't know. I got it.
I don't know. I just don't like the way it's worded.
Yeah, I suppose.
Oh, Tomahawk Man doesn't do flashing. What the heck? Why didn't they just say that on the patch notes above? Yeah. What was the point of them not saying that? It's like, only the non-dimming chips don't cause flashing, and then it's like, oh, also Tomahawk Man has a flashing removed.
Tomahawk Man's in there too.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Just later on.
Yeah.
So you had words about this when we first found out about this. Gridman is now Judgeman.
Yep.
What are your feelings on that now that we've played with it a bit?
I think in the format that it is, where like the folder is a lot more limited because of the presence of like dark chips and like the need to like necessitate like more area options and anti-recovery, I think there's actually enough folder diversity where like having some utility natty chips like Gridman is like a lot more valuable. At first I was kind of like just like done with it because in 4.5 like we had a bunch of utility navies that just became like staples, and it was like kind of like, well, you have to run this or like that's it. But you don't really have to run Gridman. You can run like Grab Revenge, you can run Grab Banish. But it also triggers things.
That's something I found myself doing as well in the games we were doing yesterday. Every time Gridman came up, I was like, well, I don't really need him right now, do I? I could just feed him to beat. Which, I mean, that's also part of the utility. But that's also a slot that I could have for another high damage chip.
It's really neat because it doesn't feel like you have to run him. It just adds a little more onto the chip.
A bit more flavor.
Yeah. Now, I have been writing these next couple of chips really hard for, like, every single match, basically.
Yeah, why don't you go over, so you're more familiar with them, so...
Yeah, so now when Colonel attacks, he'll spawn 2 random rock cubes on the field. Honestly, this has messed with me a lot, because if you're not in a good position, then rock cubes can just, like, lock you there. But one will spawn on the user's area and one on the opponent's area. This actually isn't true because I think they mean the 3x3 area, because I've had it spawn like 2 rock cubes onto your area.
I've seen that as well. Yeah, I remember that happening.
Yeah, so I think they mean
if I can find any examples of that happening, I'll put that up on screen.
Literally yesterday, like when we had the match, like one spawned in the 3rd column and the 4th column when I was at 2 area. And so the damage was reduced by a lot. For those that don't know, Colonel will attack with a, I guess a cross divide, quote unquote, in like the same row and like just kind of hit the opponent wherever they are with it. Just be careful because I think it does do diagonal damage. So like it might hit whatever objects like are on the board already. Yeah. But if there are already objects spawned on the field, then, like, Colonel will spawn, like, less objects, so, like, be careful with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Cloudman is a lot more neat. He does, like, 80 damage in his SP form, and in his DS form, I believe he does about 60. So instead of you spawning like infinite clouds behind the opponent when they're like further up in their area, kind of like punishing them, it'll spawn clouds above, to the left, to the right, and below whatever there are panels available, and they'll shoot the opponent Mega Man with thunders. Then if there's nothing in front of Mega Man, then it'll spawn a cloud with 999 HP. And the cloud will last for like 8 seconds. It is important to know that if you're using Cloudman, it'll include the clouds that send the thunders to check in the check for whether or not it can spawn the cloud there in front of Mega Man to begin with. So try to position yourself out of the way of like directly in front of wherever the opposing Mega Man is, otherwise you will get blocked by your own attack and you won't be able to spawn the defensive cloud.
Oh, okay.
It is weird that the defensive cloud has 999 HP for all the Cloudman versions. So you can just use like Cloudman Star and you can like create a defensive cloud object.
Huh.
But yeah.
Django.
They killed him.
He's dead.
They murdered him.
So Django now deals a set amount of damage. He deals 120 in his standard form.
Doesn't hit through auras.
150 in DS.
It doesn't hit through traps.
And it deals 190 on the SP. It doesn't go through barriers, it doesn't go through shields, it doesn't go through traps. It's not boosted by the turn limit anymore. Everything that was super cool about this chip is no more. This was like a staple chip for every BN5 folder I have ever made. and now there's just no reason to run it.
Yep. So now you can no longer delete chips with Searchman V1. It doesn't say they deleted the chip destroy function, which is weird.
Yeah, I didn't see anything specifically saying with the chip destruction. Like with Jealousy, it just destroys one, but that seems rather inconsistent with our gameplay.
It also seems really confusing why they would switch the Search V1 MB to 69 if the chip already can't destroy chips. Like, it's just a cursor chip that you have to, like, land exactly on the opponent for, like, a low amount of damage.
Right.
And it's not like you can boost it a lot in any way, so it feels weird that they would, like, restrict it like that.
Well, I was about to bring up Erase Man, but, I mean, Erase Man paralyzes, so that also has utility in that aspect. Search Man does not.
Well, Eraseman can also hit down a row above and down.
Right. So why is the MB so high for this? I don't for an attack that has to be so specifically aimed and timed out. It's I think the MB might be a bit too high on that one. I don't know. I'm no fucking game doctor, so
yeah.
Giga Chips. Big Hook now fires 4 times. So it will do its 1-2 punch.
What insane person decided this was okay?
And then it will do its 1-2 punch again. Each fist deals 150.
Stupid. Should do 600 damage.
Oh man, yeah, it's Big Hook is like actually good now. Like I ran it in a game against Tchomp yesterday. I was just like, haha, funny Big Hook. This chip sucks. Might as well just play it because memes. But it's like actually good now. So gone are the days of me saying Big Hook is just absolute garbage. Run Delta Ray instead because it's just better Big Hook. Leader Raid? Leader Raid's I guess Event and Giga Chips.
It's exactly the same. There's no reason why they put it in changes.
It's a hidden attack value, so it's like set, but it still deals 200 times 2.
Yeah. If they're in the same... Basically, the way that Leader Raid works is it'll send Proto Man and Colonel after you to do their same attacks. So Proto Man will lock onto you. I don't know if you have to be in the same row.
I don't believe you do, because you used it in top row while I was in middle, and it still hit me.
Oh, that might have been a desync, honestly, because I remember all of the times that I used it on you were in the same row. I don't know, maybe. I don't remember how it works, but... Chaos Lord!
Chaos Lord deals 500 damage, and it will crack the panels instead of breaking them.
Lame. You have Geddon at 2 and you're afraid of breaking your opponent's entire area? What is this?
Yeah. Delta Ray, reverse the order and attempt. So Delta Ray is now this is just a straight buff to Delta Ray.
Yeah.
If you look here, it's now blocked. It's not blocked by the top row anymore. So if your opponent's in the back row, you're guaranteed at least 1 hit, and if they're in the top row, you're guaranteed at least 2. And then the middle row, middle front and middle are the sweet spots. I would assume it's still blocked by holes and and broken panels, but it's going to prioritize. It's not going to be blocked. It's not starting at top and then bottom, or it's top back bottom. It can also start bottom back top, or it's not gonna. You're guaranteed a couple of hits at least, which I'm fine with. Delta Ray's badass. Death Phoenix has been shifted from D code to Q code. All right.
It now functions as panel return. And that way you can't just send the recycled Navi down into the bottomless pit as soon as you spawn it.
Yeah.
But now it no longer
that's
copies
nice.
the boosts.
Which I wasn't aware it did that before. Which that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Phoenix is added a light karma restriction. So you have to be good to use this chip.
No healing allowed for Dark Mega. No more healing.
Right. It's now null element, so...
That's not true, it does fire damage.
But the chip itself is null. It definitely deals fire damage, but the chip itself is null.
Oh my god.
Which is weird.
Very weird.
Because... Does Napalm Soul gives a boost to... Does it
Fire
boost?
chips if you walk on lava panels, up to 30.
I thought it was just null chips as well. So why does this change? What? Whatever. I don't know.
Oh. Oh, I think it boosts all chips up to 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why they changed it to null element, but
I think it just
there's
is
probably
null
something I'm blanking on.
Maybe. I don't know.
Remove the random flames, and it only targets exactly where your opponent is twice.
Why didn't they change the random flames for Death Phoenix?
I don't know.
Damn.
Chip destruction adjusted to match the current function. The current function? What, it only deletes one chip?
Description.
Oh, chip description. My fucking dyslexic ass, I'm sorry.
The Phoenix was destroying your mind.
Bug Curse. Bug Curse pierces invis.
I love the changes they made to Bug Curse. They made it usable.
It now causes 100 damage.
It pierces invis. And now it cleanses all the user's bugs.
You just get rid of all of them. Damn.
I will say that it is kind of whack because it's still an evil chip, which means that you can't use this with Light Mega, which means that you kind of have to make a choice between running like a super buggy build like with Dark Mega and like static, or between running like a bugless build with like just still running Bug Curse.
I just realized this is just better dark bug fix.
Yeah, but it's like Giga, so it's not like you can see it early.
I mean, how many times have you seen bug stop early? Like, it happens, sure.
Yeah.
But it's not often. And also with,
Yeah, but it doesn't never happen.
Right, but then also you don't... In a format where your build gives you bugs, you're going to want bug stop as late as possible. So, if you use your 3 dark chips, if you still have your 3 dark chips somewhere in your folder, you don't want to be seeing Bug Curse early, because that's just going to be an extra slot. It's like, well, I have to save that. I can't use that right now, because then I'm going to have these annoying, like, Warp Step or HP bugs that I just don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
So, it's just dark bug fix, but really good. That it also damages your opponent and gives them the bugs.
Yes.
Bug Charge caps out at 2 unique bugs instead of 10. It fires 3 total Gospels at max, and it still cleanses all your bugs. And then damage is set to 200.
You fire 3 Angry Duggos down the row, and yeah. Bug fix.
Omega Rocket now fires in Mega Man's current row with the delete barrier priority. So does that mean it deletes barriers and then deals damage, or?
I guess.
Damn. The direct damage deals 0, with the full damage of the chip now instead occurring on the explosion.
Which is fun.
So you have to hit your opponent's back row for this to deal damage.
Why does it do more than Chaos Lord?
I don't know.
Wait, so it deletes barriers and it does more damage than Chaos Lord? Why?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just better.
I guess, yeah. Just some PA damage changes.
Yeah.
The Boxer PA is now Flame Hook.
Okay.
Time Bomb Plus inherits the Time Bomb stuff, except now it pierces Invis.
Wow, okay.
Big Noise is
No getting away from this.
Exactly the same. They just put it there for some reason.
Right, hidden attack value.
Hit Hockey goes over holes now and does more damage.
Poison Pharaoh is reduced to 1,440 frames.
I don't know why. It's not like everyone's going to be running Poison Pharaoh, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
H-Burst.
H-Burst hits more. And Giga Cannon now has an explosion radius like in BN6. And then some Navi Cuss changes. I suppose I'll show these on screen because this is kind of whack, honestly.
I don't know how I'm supposed to read this.
Yeah, the Word document is it makes this kind of difficult to show, but I'm grasping it. I'll show it on screen.
The Cuss 2 is incorrect.
Is it?
Yeah, it is, because it's like a top left, a top right, middle down, and then a lower left. But in the document, it's a 2x3.
Oh yeah.
So should we just skip these for now because they're not correct?
I'll show these on screen. Just or maybe, I don't know.
For those that are curious, basically they reduced the size of all of them and then just made some of them super awkward. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Dark changes. So Dark Mega, using Dark Chips, no longer permanently subtract HP.
Oh, yeah.
Going Berserk no longer permanently subtracts HP.
Yes.
Soul Clean has been fixed to swap between Broken Karma levels. Did I say Broken Karma? Between Karma levels. I don't know why I added a broken there.
Dark Mega can now use barriers and V1 Navi chips.
Which is interesting. I mean, that's fine, I guess.
Dark chips used by Dark Mega will now cause the Dark Chip bugs if they hit Light Mega Man. Only if they hit, though. If they don't hit, then, yeah, good luck, get good.
Yeah.
I don't know why it says will cause, because it's not like if they don't hit, then they'll still get them. You don't use Dark Recovery and your opponent's health just starts vacuuming down into the ground, like...
That would be so busted.
That would be hilarious.
Dark Invis no longer sends you into the Berserk state. It now just gives you invincibility, which I am perfectly fine with this. This is great.
This sucks. I don't know why Dark Sonic has less HP than the Cloud.
I'm alright with that. Dark Sonic is a pain in the ass.
All it does is ground you.
Yeah, I know. No, it doesn't ground. Dark Sonic paralyzes.
Does it? Can you not use chips during it?
Timpani grounds.
Oh, okay, it's better than I thought.
I mean, you can probably TFC, but...
Dark Tornado, for some reason, does less damage in this version. Dark Drill also
but
does
it's
less
always
damage.
firing off in a plus shape. So, I don't know if they completely removed the flinching thing.
What do you mean?
From base battle, well, the flinching mechanic for Dark Soul.
Yeah, they did. Wait,
they did?
Which one do you mean?
Okay. Like for Tornado, because it just starts off as basic Tornado, or Dark Tornado is basic Tornado. And then as you flinch, it gets bigger.
I guess they did remove
but
it.
In this,
then
it's a constant plush save.
I'm just gonna have to assume they changed it.
Yeah.
Dark Sword gives Buster Bug? Oh, but the opponent gets a 25% Buster Jam and you get 50%.
Okay.
Dark Circle gives the opponent custom damage bug, so every time they open the cuss screen, they're gonna take a bunch of damage.
Damn, that's not fun.
It's amazing.
Dark Meteor.
Both.
Bug chance to give both players a custom HP drain. Level 1. The vanilla opponent gets level 1 and you get level 2. So now you both just get level 1. And that also uses the 4.5 PvP patch logic for the meteors. Dark Thunder. Bug Chance gives both players custom HP drain. Same as Dark Meteor. Dark Lance. Bug Chance to give both players a damage bug. Confusion. Every time Mega Man flinches or is pushed or pulled, he becomes confused briefly.
Darkwide gives Warp Step.
Yep, Darkwide gives Warp Step. That's why I was bouncing all over the place in our matches.
Wait, what's this? What is the parentheses text? Vanilla opponent gets a 25% Buster Jam. Okay, that's just saying what it... No, it just gives the user Warp Step. It doesn't give the opponent a bug. That's lame. That's lame. What's the point of it then?
It's just... Dark. Well, I mean, I guess the point of it is just Darkwide does a fuck ton amount of damage.
I guess, but like, let me give you Warp Step.
Yeah.
Or at least give me like Bug Chain or something, so I can give you Warp Step.
Right.
Oh wait, I should do that in. Wait, is there any way to give yourself Warp Step in 4.5?
I don't believe so.
And then they
Dark AI.
They've removed a lot of chips you can use. Wait, I could have sworn I've seen you use Invis as, Dark Mega, or is that, like, you using, like, Invis?
That was probably me using Invis.
Yeah, okay. You can still...
Same with Life Aura.
Use Grab Banishes for some reason. Dark AI can use Grab Banish, which I think is insane.
Yep.
I think that's actually crazy. It can also... Wait, can it use area grabs? No, they can't. But you can still use Grab Banish.
Huh. So, on the Mega Chips, it lists almost everyone except for Shademan.
Why?
You can use Shademan. That's why I used Shademan in the Berserk state, and both of us were super surprised about that. But I guess Shademan's just cool enough to use.
I don't see Gyro Man on the list either.
Oh yeah.
Who else is on this list? I really can't tell.
Tomahawk Man isn't on there.
Proto Man's not on there.
Proto Man. Huh. How about that?
That's neat.
Giga Chips. It's not gonna let you use Phoenix, Death Phoenix, Meteor Knuckle, Big Hook, Bug Curse, or Bug Charge. And you can't use any the Dark AI specifically can't use any Dark Chips.
Yeah.
Or these program advances: Poison Pharaoh, Big Noise, Bodyguard, and Pile Driver.
God forbid you spam Poison Pharaohs for some reason. Ay.
And then a quick hot fix: they address Protosoul creating invisible objects and not locking on within the current column. The intended functionality at the moment is to jump to wherever in the column you are in the column in front.
Oh.
More to be adjusted in the future.
The alarms have been changed back to push.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why.
Address Gridman not returning area after going over holes. Which I think Gridman, you should make the... I kind of disagree with that. You should make the touchdown and then get the area back. If you can't do that,
yeah,
tough shit.
Agreed.
See, Cactus Ball and Kernel version causing rapid contact damage. Interesting.
Static has been removed as a star chip.
Spells the paralysis on opponent has super armor, but that was crossed out. It will be addressed in a future update.
Wait, what's the point of removing the paralysis that the opponent has super armor? That just means, like, oh, hey, you don't flinch them or paralyze them, so it's super terrible. Why would you run it then?
Isn't that... Just run Tornado at that point.
What's the point? Ay. Alright, well, that's everything.
Okay. Very good. I don't remember at the very start if we shouted out Ghostly Meyer and Grega Master, who poured their hearts and souls out into this patch. The patch is fantastic. If either of you two are watching, thank you very much for working on this.
Yeah, it's been fun. You should. I don't know. I like it a lot. I think it's neat. I think it has a lot of potential. I think right now it's definitely very weird. But I think it just needs like a tiny bit of work. I think it's like really close.
There's a couple little changes. Bring Django back to how he was, and I'll be happy. That's my only thing, really.
Yeah, I don't really see the purpose of like nerfing Django so much because it's not like you can spam him.
And maybe change Cosmo Man so he can actually like hit a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about.
I don't remember how much damage does Cosmo Man do now in this patch.
Not a lot, I think.
Cosmo Man dealing 70 and 130. Oh wait, no, never mind. Hold on, that's Battle Network 5. 70, 100, and 130 still. So yeah, Cosmo Man got murdered too.
So you could do maybe 260 damage. And then like maybe like 390 in some spots. I don't know.
Yeah, if you're in like a particular sweet spot, you can get a couple good hits out of it, but
I
feel like it's much easier to dodge than it is to actually get hit.
I think they have the opportunity to be able to go through mod cards and like make some really wacky shit. I don't think they'll be able to make anything like super balanced. Like, in fact, I would even like exclusively like make it optional and like not make changes to the base BBN5 based off of mod cards. But I think like messing with mod cards would have like a lot of potential with like all the wacky builds and chips and whatnot. Like especially stuff like permasouls or like stuff like that, because I know a lot of people are like feeling really weird about like not having access to crosses. So I don't know. It's just something to think about. But yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
Nothing else comes to mind, no.
Alright, I guess that's about it.
I'm glad we finally got to come do this.
Yeah, it wasn't as long as I thought it would be, although it was long.
Yeah. I mean, the recording's going on pretty long, but we had a lot of space of us just not talking or just reading. So
you know, just the actual.
I'll edit it down. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
All right, and just as abruptly as we started, we ended. So I'll just do a quick outro thing here. Thank you very much for watching, if you did watch this far, or listen this far. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I'll catch you later.
Quote unquote, a patch that aims to bring a fresh PvP
Fucking spiders.
The treaty has been violated.
Continue. It just like dropped down from the ceiling directly in front of my face.